Thank you so much for popping on in to this Minute with Mary. Do me a favor and put hashtag replay. If you're watching this on the replay, you'll know that because that live button isn't up above. And if you also want to put a hashtag hello lovely, that's your way to just kind of wave and give me a high five over the internet. It would just make me so happy. So thank you so incredibly much for popping on in. You're going to hear bird sounds because it's spring here in Rhode Island and the birds are all out. It's not a sunny day. I do have some extra lighting going on, but the birds are out and I love it. So my window's open. It's not too hot. This is like that sweet spot before spring feels like summer. So I'd love to know what the weather's like where you are. It is cloudy, but like I said, it's like high 50s here and I am all about that life. Give me everything. Give me the windows open. Give me some gardening that I can do without sweating. I'm here for it. I'm going to actually tie back my hair just with some clippies and I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite new foundation routine. I have stumbled upon this one and it is amazing. It is so amazing. And if you have skin that is, skin that you love, skin that you may have issues with, skin no matter what, this is going to be a foundation that you might want to check out. Thank you so much for the hashtag hello lovely. I love seeing that. But particularly if you are 35 plus, if you're 35 plus and you're starting to see issues with aging, you know that's where I'm at. I'm about to be 41 in just half a month at this point. So, working with anti-aging stuff is important, and what's cool is that not only can you be using that in your regular skincare in your morning or evening routine, but also you can have products that have skincare built inside of them, like the foundation I'm going to be sharing with you today. I want to make sure that I can see your comments because sometimes my comments don't work. Hello, Anita. Now I can see who that one was. So thank you so much. I'm going to have Blake help me update some of my software because sometimes it gets a little tricky with the comments. All right, so skincare infused foundation. I love my skin. One of the things that has really been helping has been taking my collagen. We went to New York this past week. It was amazing. If you have been to New York recently, let me know. I used to go to New York almost every other month. One of my dearest friends used to live in Brooklyn, so I would go see her there frequently, but she moved, just recently she moved to Chicago. So I'm going to have to make it a point to head on out west to go see her this year. But I haven't been to New York that frequently. We did take our kids this summer, but as I said, I used to go a lot. So we made plans to celebrate our son's 10th birthday and head on over to the Big Apple to go see Dog Man the musical. Now, if you have a kid in like 2nd through 5th grade, you probably know what Dog Man is. And if you don't, and there are children in your lives that's around those ages, I'm telling you, do yourself a favor, go to the library and get yourself Dog Man, the comic books, because they're a huge hit. Cheers. If you take collagen, here's your daily reminder. This is helping my hair, my skin, my nails. It is marine-based collagen. It is the best kind of collagen for your beauty needs. It's going to help tighten your skin. So if you have loose skin anywhere on your face, on your hands, honestly, anywhere on your body, it's going to help tighten it up, help brighten up your complexion. I've had some friends who it's helping greatly with their rosacea. It's helping with hair being more thick, with it being healthy and hydrated and just all sorts of great things. So if you have beauty needs, hair, skin, nails, collagen is going to be a great help for you. My collagen is a liquid form, which is the best because it actually soaks into your body. Sometimes people have like powdered formed collagens, and a lot of that honestly gets broken down every time you open the container to mix it. The oxygen gets in, it breaks it down, so it's not as effective. So what I love about this is I was able to take these little pouches to New York with me and have them on the go. The trip was amazing. It was so, so good. Do me a favor, once again, if you're hopping on in, put that hashtag hello lovely just so I can see who's tuning in. So it was so fun. It was just so fun to go and see this absolutely ridiculous and yet super cute musical. And then we went to a very fancy dinner. And it was so fun. I mean, it was absurdly expensive. I'll be real with you. It's called Le Petit Chef. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Great to see you. How the girls been? Um, but it was so fun. It was like this projection dinner. So we sat down and it was a 4-course dinner complete with wine pairings included in the price for Blake and I. The children had a separate price and a separate menu, and it was like super kid friendly, but it was projected. So this little chef was gardening or was fishing for lobster or was like in an igloo making ice cream for dessert for the kids. So it was just really, really fun. Very, very different. And I had an absolute blast, and so did the family. And that was the whole point. Just so you know, what I sprayed on my face is my Prime and Set Mist. Once again, if you have 35 plus skin, you may have more texture, whether that's fine lines, pores, acne scars, any of that kind of stuff. You also may have more combination skin, like oily, with some dry patches. I also live in a humid environment. 'Tis the season where like the humid air starts to come in. So what I do is I do what's called a setting spray sandwich. I put setting spray on my face once I have my skincare on, and then I go about the rest of my day. I just find that this gives extra grip, and the setting spray mist for me when it comes to texture really allows me to kind of like press the makeup into my skin so it really looks like my skin. But for my main primer to fill those fine lines and pores and to fill, you know, all of the unevenness in my face, I'm going to use my Prime and Set powder. If you like your skin to look flawless without those pores shining, without, like I've got this growth right here that I'm going to be having removed at the dermatologist soon. It's just, once again, some of the beauties of getting older. I forget what it's called. I feel like it begins with a K. Anyway, it's nothing like damaging or bad, but I just want it off my face. But as you see, when I have like hydrated, dewy skin, it catches the light. And when you have things, whether it's texture, physical under eye bags, pores, fine lines, when they are dewy, when they are hydrated, they catch the light, and that may not make you feel super confident. That's where this is going to come into play. This is the Prime and Set powder, and you can use it for both your primer and your setting product. It's water encapsulated powder, so it's not drying. You give it a little shake so that way it really gets covered, and then you pour it into this cover right here. And then you take yourself a setting powder brush, lightly dab it into the product, and then you apply it where you need it the most. So I go right for those pores, and then I gently blend a little bit underneath my eye. And this is going to really hold the makeup on my face. It's going to fill in those pores and fine lines, so I end up using less foundation, but it's going to really give a nice, smooth texture to my face. And another thing that I love about it, if you do live in a more humid, hot, sticky environment, is it's not like a gel-like primer, so you're not going to feel like you have a lot of like liquidy, goopy stuff on your face. I love primer. It has such a great purpose, and it really does its job, but sometimes if you're in a humid, wet place, you know, the less like liquidy things on your face, the better. So you can see just the difference right here from kind of mattifying but also filling in those areas of concern. This Prime and Set powder is doing that for me. It's creating a really nice smooth base. Sarah says we're all great, super fun, one more week until our vacation. I'm jealous everyone had a break last week. You know, it's so funny. I was shocked that Rhode Island had spring vacation so incredibly early. You know, usually the more southern states have really early spring breaks. They also get out of school really early, but Rhode Island had one. I mean, this was early for us to be right after Easter. I think that was part of it as well, is rather than having to kind of like finagle the calendar around, they usually line it up with Easter, and Easter was just a little on the early side when it came into April. So it's usually the 3rd week of April here in Rhode Island, which is going to be what you guys have, right? Is that going to be the 3rd week? I think so. Or is that the 4th week that you have it? But it was great. So yeah, we headed off to New York. And after we had that fancy dinner, we went back to the hotel and we finished Night at the Museum 2, because Night at the Museum 1 takes place at the American Natural History Museum in New York, right next to Central Park. It's the one with Ben Stiller and like the T-Rex skeleton that acts like a dog. It's such a fun movie. And that was one of our big plans, was to watch those movies and then go to the museum. And we took pictures with all the things that you could take there. The kids had such a fun time. Night in the Museum 2, I'd never seen before, and it actually takes place, I think, in like the London Museum. Oh, excuse me for one quick second. Petco is calling me. Pardon me. Hello? Yes. Perfect. Thank you so much. Bye. Butterbeer's going to be ready after her little primping in about 25 minutes. So it's perfect timing. My goodness. We're the 4th week. Oh no, Sarah, that is long. That is a long wait for you. but it'll be well worth it and it'll be nice and warm. So hopefully you can have some really like fun, warm springtime adventures. I just dropped Butterbeer off to get shampooed, bathed, because she is stinky. Oh my gosh. I have always been a cat person. I had no idea how smelly dogs could really get, and now I've learned. So I called Petco this morning. I was like, are there any cancellations? My dog stinks and I can't like be in the same room as her. If any of you have dogs, let me know. Are you good at bathing your own dogs, or do you just bring them to a groomer? Because my dog's going to be big, and I feel like for me to have success, she's going to have to go to the groomer to get bathed. I just don't, unless it's outside when it's warm and I can do it in like a kiddie pool. I'm gonna need a lot of kiddie pool action if I'm gonna be washing Butterbeer in the summer. My goodness gracious. But yeah, the museum was so great. It's ginormous. I'll be real with you. I feel like you need to be able to go over multiple days to really see everything, especially at like a kid pace. So we were there for 4 hours, which in general is a long time for anybody, but especially with kids, that was a long time. So we got to see all the sights from the movies. We got to see all the different dinosaur rooms. There's like 4 or 5 different rooms full of skeletons. And for this Jurassic Park loving girl, and my son loves Jurassic Park and all things dinosaurs, we geeked out. I mean, we were in heaven. It was so fun. But it was definitely a fun, fast trip. We were there for only 2 days, 1 night. It was bananas. All right, let me get down to my base face now that I know that Butterbeer is going to be ready soon. So when it comes to your makeup, foundation. Foundation is generally something people use if there are things about their skin that they're not super confident about, whether it is age spots. So like this age spot right here, not my favorite. This little bumpy thing right here, not my favorite, but I do love my freckles. Some people have redness all over their face, whether it's just because of their heritage or because they may have some skin issues. People may have acne and breakouts. People just may have, other differences in their skin that doesn't really make them happy, and that's frequently why people will turn to foundation. It's going to create a nice base for you to build upon, and you get to kind of be the artist for it. It's a choose your own adventure. So some people just like a little bit of coverage. Maybe they just have a couple of things that they're not super confident about, and they can cover those and go about their day. Other people want full coverage. They want to have a blank canvas to kind of build on. The more coverage that you have, the more foundation you use, or the fuller coverage, the more blank face that you get, the more work you're going to have to kind of do afterwards, whether that's with bronzer or contouring or blush, because when you become a blank canvas and you use that full coverage, you're getting rid of your natural coloring and your natural dimension. So those of you who like light coverage, the more natural makeup look, you'll be able to use less other products. And those of you who really have a lot of discoloration that you want to cover, or you just like the full coverage look, you're going to be looking for more bronzer, contour, blush on top of that. Now I will say all base face products at minutewithmary.com are on sale this month in April. You can get up to 25% off. I always recommend a primer, and then you get your foundation, and I also always recommend a setting product. That's going to allow your makeup to last and be on your skin all day. Sometimes people don't use primers and it just kind of like wipes off their face, and it's like there's nothing there. There's nothing securing it like a Velcro. Plus, as I said, if you have pores and fine lines and you're getting a little bit more advanced in your age and you've got that texture, primer's going to really help fill it in so you get that smoother surface. So I'm using my Serum Plus foundation. This had come out a couple of years ago, but the dropper just wasn't ideal, I'll be real with you. So I didn't really talk about it that much because I wasn't too thrilled with the packaging. The packaging has now been fixed, and I love this product. I love it because it's infused with skincare. So you do want to shake it up almost like you would with like an Italian dressing to really make sure that the makeup and the skincare is well mixed. Then you're going to open it up, and there's that little dropper. You can even squeeze everything out of the dropper if you want to get a fresh supply. Now I have that Prime and Set powder on my face, and this is actually a product that you can either drip right onto your face, you can drip it onto your tool, to your brush, you can put it on the back of your hand. I frequently have done that. But what I'm doing right now is I'm applying it right to my face. I'm going to use every single ounce of that makeup, but if you get a little messy and you don't like to drop it on your face, totally feel comfortable to put it either on your hand or like a clean plate or a palette and dip your brush into it. Some people do dip it right onto their brush. The problem is sometimes it seeps in. So you really need to make sure that you're washing your brushes really well and you're acting quickly. So that was just, like not even a full drop. I just kind of like pounced what it was on my brush, and I applied it directly onto that age spot. So if you have a lot of discoloration in the center of your face, apply the foundation there and then blend out. The trick is to apply it first where you feel the most self-conscious, the thing that you don't like the most. So for me, it was that age spot, and then I'm going to be blending it from there. Now this is my summer shade. This is the shade Chiffon, and it is a bit more on the tanner side. I've got loads of different colors going on in my skin. I've got my light shade, which you can frequently see like right under here. I've got my brown freckles. I've got some tan going on. That's fake tan. It's spray tan. I've got my natural pink cheeks. So I've got a whole bunch of different colors. So when we color match, you kind of have to pick one of those colors or somewhere in between, especially if you're going for more medium to fuller coverage. So I'm doing more of a medium coverage look right now. Hi Anna, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. Great to see you. And thank you for the hashtag Hello Lovely. So this shade right here, as I said, it is my summer shade. When I am fully using a self tanner, this is the one that I use, but until I'm like really my tannish glow, I need to make sure that I blend it well. So what happens is I end up getting like darker here on my chest than I do with my neck. That's just natural. Even with SPF, your neck is gonna act like a sunscreen barrier for, your head is gonna act like a sunscreen barrier for a lot of your neck. So a lot of people have more color on their face and then more color on their chest, but a lighter neck. So what you always wanna do is, if that's you, you want to bring a little bit to your ear and then bring a little bit down here. Sometimes when I wear my foundation, I will choose the lighter shade, and then my whole face looks a little bit lighter. And then I bring in more color back with bronzer and blush. But as I said, today I'm going to be going for more of a lighter look because I want some of those freckles to shine through. I just really wanted to cover up that age spot. So now I'm going to do the same on this side of my face. Oh, thanks, Anna. You're so sweet. And I'm just going to use, as I said, not even like half a drop, just a little bit. And this side doesn't really have the same age spot issues. It's more freckles on this side. And I just do a light, nice little base. So here's, you know, that pink on my face that is my natural flush that I like. My freckles are there. So I'm just kind of pouncing the product and kind of doing a light stipple action for all my Bob Ross friends who like Bob Ross. And you can see I'm almost just touching the dropper to my face. I'm not even doing a full drop of it. If you want more of a light to medium coverage, you could really just use a full like 2 or 3 drops in your entire face, but this is buildable coverage. And what I love about that, not only, as I said, is it built in with skincare, so my skin's going to have some high sodium hyaluronate in it, which is going to help like kind of plump my skin, help it look younger, help it be more hydrated as well. But also, I can add more coverage in the areas that I want it to without it looking like my entire face has to be full coverage. If you want full coverage, you can totally build up to it, and it doesn't feel thick or cakey or heavy. It's just super light. Like, I don't feel like there's anything on my skin. And I think a huge part of that is because of the primer that I used with it. So that Prime and Set powder, so now what I'm doing is I'm actually just touching the dropper right to my skin in the areas that I want a little bit more coverage and color. So right there is that age spot that I was telling you about that I don't feel super confident about. But that Prime and Set powder is acting like such an amazing primer that it's gripping this product where I place it, and it's allowing me to still blend, but it's really going to do its job. I need makeup tips for a funeral. Oh my gosh, my mom died last week and I need to look good. Oh my gosh, Anna, I am so sorry for your loss, my friend. I'm totally going to be able to help you out, okay? Let me know what you got at home and what kind of look you want to go for. Obviously, you're going to want to be wearing some waterproof mascara. And I think a lot of times people put a lot of pressure on themselves to look what they think is look good for the passing of a beloved person like a mother. But know that no matter what, the people who are going to be there are going to love you no matter what. No one's going to be judging the way that you look. They're going to be there surrounding you in love. Okay, so know that is the most important thing. Now, if you want to look good because you want to look good and that's going to help you feel more confident, I am here for that. That's how I am. When I'm in stressful or sad situations, I take the time to do my makeup. It's almost like a meditation thing for me. You know, it's just another type of self-care. What I just did is I used that Prime and Set mist, and I talked about this earlier, about particularly for those of us as we get a little bit older and we have that texture in our skin, those fine lines or pores. What I like to do is to take that very, very fine mist on top of my foundation And then I take my brush and I just pounce it. And what this is going to do is it's really going to push that makeup into my skin. So it's not sitting on top of it. It doesn't look like I'm wearing, you know, makeup. There's not like a layer. It's just blended seamlessly into my skin and really looks super natural. So once again, if you have texture, if you have fine lines, if you're 35 plus and you want that makeup to look good and cover what you want it to cover, but you don't want to look like you're wearing a mask of it, this Prime and Set Mist, game changer. And all of this is on sale. The brushes, the foundation, the primer, the setting products, blush, all that kind of stuff is on sale only through April. So if you want a color match, just send me a message. Hi, Deborah. Oh, yay. What did you just need to see? Did you need a little tip here or there? Or did you just want to see a smiling face from a girl in Rhode Island? Yes, Anna, please let me know. I'm here for you, my friend. And once again, I'm so sorry for the loss. And I'm here for you in all ways, okay? Emotionally, but also for makeup, because I appreciate wanting to look good. So I just finished my foundation. Now, as you can see, you can still see a bunch of freckles. I did the lightest coverage right here because I like those freckles to shine through and across the bridge of my nose. But if I wanted the coverage there, a lot of people don't like their freckles or they have a lot of their discoloration here. That's where I would have applied the foundation and then blended it out. You don't want to do a thick coat of foundation all over. That's when people end up looking like they're wearing a mask. So apply it where you need it, and then blend from there. And I promise you, you're gonna wear such less makeup that you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, my skin is great. Particularly if you do have good skin, you know, if you're working on your skin or you're taking collagen, let your skin shine through, but cover what you wanna cover. Now, I like to add some definition. I like to add a little bit more warmth, and I also like to add a little brightness to my face with some concealer and things like that. So this is completely optional. I will say that the darkness under my eyes isn't particularly too bad right now. You would think it would be a lot worse after I went on vacation with the kids. I like to either use a concealer or a stick foundation or my powder foundation to cover under my eyes. I will tell you why sometimes powder foundation is my favorite though. I like to even call it a powder concealer. This has shea butter infused in it, so a lot of people when they hear powder, they think it's going to be drying, but this one is a very nourishing, light powder, and because it is a powder, it's going to mattify, and when things are matte, you don't see texture as much. So if you have physical under eye bags, those are going to catch the light, it's going to catch the shine, and that's when you're going to want to mattify. Either at the end, you just put some setting powder on it and it's going to get rid of that shine, or if you want to add a little bit more coverage, if you have a little darkness, you may even want to try my powder concealer, which, as I said, it's technically my powder foundation. You can either use the same shade as your regular foundation shade, or you can go a little bit lighter if you want to brighten things up like I am right there, but you can already see it mattified the physical under eye bags and it brightened a little bit. So for me, that's my jam. I like the rest of my skin to be a little bit more dewy and glowy, and I can accomplish that without having to put powder everywhere. But on the areas where I do have a little bit of concern with the texture of my under eye bags, that's where this powder is going to come into play. And then I just kind of blend it out. This is my powder concealer brush. It's one of my favorites. It's a nice 2-in-1 brush. You can even use this with that Serum Plus liquid foundation that I showed. Deborah said, I like to see the serum applied as I'm awaiting my delivery. Yay, perfect. I already applied it. So if you missed me applying it, please let me know and I can kind of walk you through it, or you can check out the replay. Okay, Deborah? But I did put the Prime and Set powder underneath, and to me that is that right there makes the magic happen. So I'm going right here, right where that discoloration is. A lot of us have discoloration right kind of in that inner corner. It kind of looks purpley or blue. You don't have to put concealer everywhere. We don't need to brighten everything all up. I'm not trying to necessarily highlight and bring attention to my under eye bags. I just want myself to feel a bit more confident. So having a little bit of that powder here is going to be great. This is also a great tip for those of you who may have a little bit more oily eyes, or if you have allergies this time of year and your eyes are getting a little watery, let me know. Does anyone else have allergies? I do. Me and my kids do. This time of year, my eyes just water a bit more. Hopefully I'm not touching them too much more because that makes it worse, but it can mean that your regular mascara, your non-waterproof mascara, can get a little extra under your eyes, and having some kind of a powder, either a powder foundation like I'm using or the Prime and Set powder, having that there is going to help sop up any extra liquid, and it will make your mascara not bleed, not make a mess all over your face. So fellow allergy friends, put a little powder on your eyes and I promise you it's going to help a lot. All right, so I did the powder foundation as my concealer to brighten up. and to also kind of mattify those under eye bags that I don't particularly love. And now I'm going to go in and add a cream blush that has a little bit of a brown to it, so it's going to actually act as my blush and my contour. It's this shade Cinnamon Latte. These are my all-in-one Bare You all-in-one color sticks. I will say, if you have this, when you close it, make sure it's all the way down. Don't leave some of the product still up, because the cap is close, and I don't want you to waste any of your product, so always make sure it's all the way down before you close it. But basically, you take this product and you apply it on the upper portion of your cheekbone, kind of in that past your eyebrow area. I love to use my fingers. You can completely use a blush brush or a kabuki brush. This is a nice type. It's like a flat stippled kind of brush, so if you prefer to use a brush, you completely can. And it actually has a tool built in it on the other side, so if you don't like to use your fingers, okay, this is a sponge, and this will also help you blend as well. But I'm a finger girl. I like to use the warmth from my body heat to help kind of meld it into my skin, and I just think that we were born with the greatest tools right here. But I also appreciate that not everybody wants to get makeup all over their fingers, so I'm applying it, and I personally like to bring it up towards that hairline, especially on days like today when I'm not going to be wearing bronzer or contouring, and this is really going to be the all-in-one kind of thing. And it's got, as I said, kind of some of those a little bit more warmer undertones, a bit more reddish brown rather than like a berry pink. And so you can bring it around your hairline, and it's going to give that sun-kissed glow, that kind of bronzed look that you may often use a second product for, but this is helping really add that lift to my cheekbone. It even makes my face look a little bit slimmer. So when you do it here and you bring it up around your brow bone, it's going to give more of that lifted look and also add that nice bit of color to it. Fun little fact, these all-in-one color sticks also are great for lip products, and they have 10-hour wear. A lot of times when people wear a creamy based product, it does not stay on your face long, and by the time you get to where you're going, whether it's work or to an event, you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, this, I spent all that time putting makeup on and there's nothing on me. First, I would suggest wearing a primer, but also I would really look into the product and see if it has long wear. Because if it doesn't, then you don't want to waste your money. You want to spend your money on good, high quality, natural based products that are going to be also helping your skin in the long run. Especially if you wear a little bit of makeup, a couple times a week or every day or every weekend, you want to have stuff that makes you feel good, that can be multi-purpose, that also really, really help your skin. All right, so as I said, I just used my fingers. You can totally use a kabuki brush. I do find if you use a brush or a sponge that you'll need to use a little bit more product, just because obviously that product is going to end up on the brush or the sponge. So if you accidentally use too much, a little goes a long way. Just a little dot will do you good. But if you use too much, you can almost use the brush or the sponge to minimize it, to blend it out a little bit. But as I said, this is also a great lip color. I might do a little bit here. You can apply it with your finger, and it's going to go on and feel a little bit like a more traditional lipstick, and then it sets to be a stain. So you're not going to feel like there's anything on your lips. And people who do not have oily eyelids can also wear this as an eyeshadow. Once again, I just said it's allergy season. My eyelids are all sorts of wet and watery, and I don't use it on my eyelids this time of year. I don't really use that many like creamy things on my eyelids because I'm just a watery, sneezing mess. But the rest of my skin, it works really well on. All right, so let's finish this up because I need to go get little butterbeer. But what do you guys think? Do you see the color that was? So this is the shade Cinnamon Latte. And as I said, this shade for me is a really great one if you kind of want to have an all-in-one, a little bit of a blush bronzer kind of look, because it has a bit more reddish brown undertone to it. A really nice natural look. You can even go all the way around your forehead. You can add a little bit onto the bridge of your nose if you want to have that truly sun-kissed look. But it adds that sheen, that hydration, that dewiness, and yet I mattified underneath my eyes. So the physical under eye bags aren't necessarily shining, but that nice hydration from that cream blush, that all-in-one color stick. Once again, minutewithmary.com. All of these products are up to 25% off. It's going to really, really kind of like lightens and brightens up your face. Now to set this, I'm going to go in back with that Prime and Set Mist. This allows my skin to continue to have that hydrated and dewy look to it. Right now it looks totally wet, but once it dries down, it's going to be the same look that it was prior to my spraying it. If, however, you want a full matte look, that's when you're going to finish things off with the Prime and Set powder instead. So the mist is a nice, gentle, light mist, finishes it however the product was prior to spraying it. Powder is going to mattify. If you've got a lot of texture, a lot of big pores, a lot of fine lines, acne scarring, things like that, the matte will be a little bit better. And remember, you don't have to have it matte everywhere. I did matte right here. Sometimes I even put a little bit of the powder right here, the Prime and Set powder, just to cover up my pores, but I leave the rest of my face to be that dewy, hydrated look. All right, if you haven't said hashtag hello lovely, now's your chance. It's your little way to give me a high five. Let me know that you're tuning on in. I also love to know where people are tuning in from. Right, so last thing that I like to do is something for my eyes, but as you can see, this is just like a really simple, natural springtime look. I could even go, like, I feel so confident with how this looks that I feel beautiful even without doing my mascara. But for those of you who've been with me at Minute with Mary, you know that mascara is my #1 favorite thing. Now that I've taken care of adding a little bit of powder there to help make sure that I don't make a mess during this allergy season, I'm going to go in and do it. Thank you, Christina. Great to see you. I am going to be curling my lashes. With my mascaras, you do not have to curl your lashes, but because I have slightly hooded eyelids, you can see how it's a little droopy. I like to give my lashes the best luck that they can get. It's like a push-up bra for your lashes. So I go right on in, right to the base. I do a couple little pumps, and then I do a couple little pumps as I exit. That just is going to help my eyes look bigger and wider, which is what I'm here for. I'm not doing an eyeshadow look. I'm not doing a whole bunch of steps. Really, the goal today was to show you my new favorite foundation routine because I just think that it's so great. It's got those anti-aging properties to it. So if you are someone who's trying to take good care of your skin, this skincare helps kind of plump up the appearance of your skin, so it just helps with those fine lines. It's going to really help long term as well. So I just want to make sure that I showed you it. I am going to use my lash primer. I talked about how I have allergies, and this also helps. So having a little bit of powder, whether it is setting powder around your eyes or that pressed powder foundation that I like to use as a concealer, that's going to help be a barrier. But also the eyelash primer. It's going to help you have better results in general with your there it is. I keep my mascaras in my bra. Just warms it up and makes them smooth like butter. So it's going to help, a lash primer is going to help actually nourish your lashes and separate them, but it also acts like another barrier. So if you have oily eyelids or if you have watery eyes this time of year, any time of year, this acts like another barrier to really help the mascara stay on your lashes and not on your face. And this just happens to a lot of people, right? Like different times of year, your skin or your body reacts differently. And particularly in these transition months, you know, as we're moving into spring and really kind of amping up the heat, our skin kind of changes a little bit. And with that, if you wear any kind of makeup, that needs to change a little bit. Now this is my Twisted mascara. This is my favorite one because it has two wands. So this is the Itty Bitty Baby wand, and I like to get right to the base of those lashes. And because I have those hooded eyelids, I don't have a ton of eyelid real estate. So on days like this, when I just want to have a really gentle, soft spring look to my makeup, I get right to the base where the lashes meet the eyelid and I stamp a little bit of the mascara right there. So it almost looks like I have eyeliner on. And it's just a really, really gentle look when you use the little wand. But if you spin it at the silver, it has a big wand, and that's going to help amp up the coverage. So I personally like to use the little wand to act like eyeliner, to really kind of coat the base of those lashes to get the little ones, and then I use this big one, and that really helps deposit a bit more mascara on it, amps up the volume, and really helps beautifully with that curl. Now, if you're someone who likes the look of like dramatic, really full lashes, maybe you wear glasses and you like the drama, or you might like the look of false lashes, the 4D is going to be for you. But as I said, I'm going for a more just like gentle spring-like look today. Less makeup. So just to kind of recap what I've used today, in case you are in the market, I used my Prime and Set Mist in the beginning when I first put it on my face. Then I used my Prime and Set powder as my main primer, and that helped fill in the fine lines and pores, really acts like Velcro for your makeup. Then for the foundation, I went in with my Serum Plus. And I used my summer shade at this point. I used just a little bit, but I applied it directly onto the areas where I have the most discoloration. So I applied it on my age spots that I don't necessarily love, and then blended it out from there for this really kind of like light to medium coverage where I still allowed my freckles to shine through. But on days when I want the full coverage, I just add a couple more drops to my face and I'm good to go. And I don't feel heavy or weighted. I don't feel like there's any kind of, foundation at all on my face. It's just an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous foundation, but it also has that skincare built inside of it. So make sure if you get it, I know Deborah that you're waiting for yours in the mail, make sure you give it a good shake every time you use it, just like you would with Italian salad dressing, to really make sure that the serum, the skincare serum and the foundation is beautifully mixed together. And then you blend it out and you're good to go. And then I used my all-in-one color stick in the shade Cinnamon Latte. All of these things you can find at minutewithmary.com. I use that to add in some warmth that I use kind of like as a bronzing blush. That's what you see. You also see it on my lips, and by now it's kind of mattified down, so it's really going to have that 10-hour long-lasting wear. And I love when you get to have your lips and your cheeks match. I just think it's really cool. Really, really cool. I used my pressed powder foundation actually as my concealer underneath my eyes. Hi, Kathleen. How are you? And I might just touch that up one quick little second. Make sure that there's no shine whatsoever. Right on in there. And I used a couple shades lighter underneath my eyes just to kind of like help conceal. And that, my friends, is it. I finished things off with my Prime and Set Mist to allow me to still have this like youthful dewy glow, but if you would prefer a more matte look, you would just finish it off with that Prime and Set powder. I love this foundation. It really covered that area of my concern. If I wanted it to be full coverage, I would just add a couple more drops. But there you go. That is my like simple springtime look. The foundation is also acting as a skincare, so it's helping my skin look a little bit more hydrated and full, and I love it. So if you want a color match, drop a sunshine below. I'm doing color matches all month. My foundation, concealer, all these products, the brushes, they're all included in my Minute with Mary April special. I would hate for you to have to spend more money than you need to, and of course don't forget, everything on my site comes with a 14-day love it guarantee. So you're able to try it out for 2 full weeks at home, and if you do not absolutely love it, maybe the color's off, maybe you want a different type, I give you 100% of your money back. It doesn't hurt me, doesn't hurt my sales, anything like that. It's just part of me wanting to make sure that you have the best experience. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning into this Minute with Mary. I'm going to go pick up my puppy, and who's going to smell good and be happy to see me, and I will talk with you soon.